Salve to discipuli, ego sum magister buddy, and this is the stage 6 lesson on verb tenses. But before we launch into our new material with verbs, let's do a quick review of connectors since we didn't talk about them in the previous lesson. We've got et, which means and, quod means because, sed means but, tum means then, postquam means after. Now these are from various parts of speech. Some are adverbs, some are conjunctions. But for intents and purposes for us right now, they are some form of a connector. For example, the dog runs, then jumps. Then is connecting these two verbs, sequencing the verbs. He holds water because he is thirsty. He holds water and he is thirsty could stand alone. Each of them are individual sentences because here is connecting them together. Keller starts a painting after he cooks dinner. Keller starts a painting and he cooks dinner. Each of those could stand alone as sentences. After is bringing them together. All right, now on to verbs, the focus of this lesson. Quick review of what we already know. We haven't called it this before, but what we know already are present tense verbs. Tense is the terminology for verbs that indicates when things are happening. Present means it's happening right now. So scribo would be I write. Scribus is you write. Scribit, he, she, it, or a stated subject writes. Scribunt would be they write, or a stated plural subject. All right, so ego scribo, I write. Tu scribus, you write. Dominus scribit, the master writes. Domini scribunt, the masters write. Okay, one of our new tenses is called the imperfect tense. Imperfect means it's something that happened in the past over an extended period of time. It wasn't just a moment in time. It happened for a length of time. All right, so caecilius scribebat. The nice thing is that we have our T here to indicate that we're dealing with a singular third-person subject. Caecilius was writing. So the was writing indicates that it happened over an extended period of time. The BAT tells us that it is imperfect. BAT, BAT. Scribebat, scribebat. All right, servi, scribebant. We have a plural subject. We have a plural verb. The BA indicates that we're looking at the imperfect. So the slaves were writing. This were plus the ing form of the verb tells us that it happened in the past over an extended period of time. Okay, let's throw in a couple other things. So caecilius in tablino laborabat. We have a singular subject, a prep phrase, a singular verb. The BA tells us that we're looking at the imperfect tense. So caecilius was working in the study. Servi in horto laborabant, plural subject, prep phrase, plural verb, imperfect tense because of the BA. So the slaves were working in the garden. All right, so just like the present tense of the irregular verb to be, first of all, let's have a review. So sum means I am, est means you are, est is he, she, it, or stated subject is, sunt means they, or stated subjects are. For example, ego sum laetus, I am happy. Tu est laetus, you are happy. Puella est laeta, the girl is happy. Puellae sunt laetae, the girls are happy. Okay, so the irregular verb to be also has an imperfect tense. It looks like erat and errant. So erat means he, she, it, or a stated subject was. Errant means they, or stated subjects were. For example, puella erat laeta. The girl was happy. Puelai erant laetai. The girls were happy. Okay, another past tense, the perfect tense. Now, the perfect tense indicates something that happened in the past, but just once, just briefly, as opposed to over an extended period of time. So in English, we usually use the ed form of the verb. It'll look like, for now, it'll look like VIT, so wit, VERUNT, so werunt. An example is laborawit, he, she, it, or stated subject, worked. Laborawerunt would be they worked. For example, Caecilius laborawit. We know we have a singular subject, singular verb. This right here tells us that we're looking at the perfect tense. Caecilius worked. Servi laborawerunt. This right here tells us we have a plural subject. This right here tells us we have a plural verb. This tells us that that verb is perfect tense. So the slaves worked. Okay, let's switch it up a little bit. Caecilius in tablino laboravit. Singular subject, prep phrase, singular verb, perfect tense. Caecilius worked in the study. Servi in horto laboraverunt. Plural subject, prep phrase, plural verb, perfect tense. So the slaves worked in the garden. All right, we've got 8 practice sentences here. Any ablatives or accusatives that are going with a preposition, put those in parentheses, set them aside because they're a prep phrase. I didn't put it down here, but circle any, oh, never mind, there are no connectors. If you have an action verb, put a V over it. If you have a linking verb, put a LV over it. If you have a nominative, put a subject, or if it's on the other side of a linking verb, mark it as a subject complement. If you have any accusatives left over that are not being used in prep phrases, mark those as your direct object. And so go ahead, pause the video, do all that, and then we will discuss. All right, Discipuli, let's look at this first sentence, poeta recitabat. Poeta, that's nominative singular, so that's our subject. We've got a singular verb here, singular verb, imperfect tense. So the poet was reciting. All right, in horto, this is ablative, it's going with in, so we're going to put that in parentheses. Metella, nominative singular, so that's our subject. Singular verb. BA tells us it's imperfect, so we're going to translate this as was sitting. Metella was sitting in the garden. All right, we've got another ablative here with the preposition, so we're going to set it aside in some parentheses. We've got a plural nominative now, so plural subject, which makes sense because we've got a plural verb. This BA tells us that it's imperfect, so we're going to translate it as were walking. The slaves were walking in the forum. All right, Pompeiani venum bibebant. Plural nominative, so that's our subject. Plural verb. This BA tells us here that it's imperfect, so we're going to translate this as were drinking. The Pompeians were drinking wine. All right, coquus intravit, singular nominative, so that's our subject. Singular verb. This VI here tells us that it's perfect, so we're going to translate it as entered. The cook entered. Clamanes clamorem audivit. Okay, this goes in our odd box, so that's nominative singular, that's our subject, singular verb. VI tells us that it's perfect, so we're just going to translate it in this as a simple past in a moment. Heard, so Clemens heard an uproar. All right, amici caecilium salutaverunt. Amici, that's nominative plural, so that's our subject. Caecilium, that's accusative, direct object. Salutaverunt, NT, plural verb. This VER right here tells you that it's perfect tense. So the friends greeted Caecilius. All right, last one. Clamanes clamorem audivit. Singular subject, singular verb in the perfect tense. This is an accusative. It's not an prep phrase, so it's just our direct object. Clemens heard an uproar. All right, discipuli. English relies on word order to indicate function, but Latin relies on endings to indicate function. I can't say this enough. Make sure you know your endings so that you can decode the words when you see them in a sentence. Ualete discipuli.